Hey, someone.
Be worried about, and I couldn't find it.
So you always need that before. In every man, woman, and child, I believe that with all of my heart. How does somebody say that they're a Christian that hates Christianity? If you don't like your own faith, why are you a part of that faith? It makes absolutely no sense. And then he takes it a step further. And he says Jesus was a socialist anarchist from ancient Palestine. What the hell is this guy talking about? And the crazy doesn't stop there. I mean, I think people think I might be making this stuff up. I'm not making it up. I mean, you got 6 gender, God is non-binary, Tellerico, vegan campaign, welcome Matt at the southern border, all in Texas. He's against drilling. Now, apparently, 6 gender once said that being a white male limits my imagination about what is possible. I have no earthly idea what the hell he's talking about. Linda, you have any idea what he's talking about? I don't.
I do not.
I mean, I need somebody to like interpret this guy. His comments on gender, again, 6. He's made race-related comments that racism is a virus that white people, including himself, carry and spread through systems, even without overt systems. I just, as a Christian that actually believes in Christianity, think that God created every man, woman, and child on this earth, put talent in every man, woman, and child on this earth. Which, by the way, makes me very sad when I have to read stories like we did
picked up our sandwiches.
Linda, do you happen to know how many people got shot in the great city of Chicago, Brendan Johnson and J.D. Pritzker State? Do you know how many people got shot this weekend?
I would
take a guess.
I would say 40 or 50 at least.
39 shots, 6 dead. Do you think one Democrat, if I had them on this program today, do you think they could name a single person that was shot and killed? I tend to doubt it.
Only if they're an illegal alien. If they're an illegal alien, they're going to know their name and everywhere they are, and they're going to go fight for their family.
No, it's actually more about can they weaponize the death of an innocent person for political purposes and somehow blame Donald Trump for it. I mean, I think that is the more sinister motive of it all. But you got Tellerico, and apparently reports revealed that he followed thousands of accounts, including adult OnlyFans account. Did you hear that part about him? I didn't know that part. That was new to me. But I mean, who runs a vegan campaign in a cattle state of Texas? You have to be pretty stupid to do that. Now, there's more. In an interview with a self-described, quote, again, not my words here, this was put out by the RNC, a self-described trans, queer, activist, theologian, Texas Democrat James Tellerico says he hates Christianity. I always
not bad.
He's a Christian that hates Christianity. What does that mean? You hate your own faith, you hate your own value system, you hate your own religion.
I'll explain when I get home. It's pretty comical, actually.
He says, is the socialist.
They didn't even know why I was there.
What the hell is this guy talking about?
I see that you were just seen in January.
0 cents. And this is now.
What brings you to us today?
I'm taking
I'm like,
all of this
I don't know.
At it as a positive.
They made
they've gone
the appointment.
So far off the deep end that I mean, can any mainstream or remaining mainstream Democrat, if you're not living in New York City or LA or San Francisco,
good thing they're paying me to drive out here,
or somewhere in New Jersey, anywhere. How does somebody that used to identify?
Yeah, so they're going to mail me some eye drops though for the watering eyes.
I look at Pittsburgh. I look at places like Philly. I look at the outer boroughs. Selena Zito knows Pennsylvania better than anybody. I mean, hardworking, blue collar, values oriented Democrats and Republicans, which makes it that purple state. Are they going to relate to the Graham Plattners of the world? They're going to relate to the James Tellericos in the world. I just don't see it. And unless I'm missing something.
Yeah. I told him about the eye watering, and I'm like, well, there was no notes here. It was just the appointment. I'm like, she's like, why did they have you come here? I said, I don't know. I said, there's one right there in Toledo. So, yeah, nobody knew I was there. I said, well, I figured it was because I complained about my watering eyes. I said, but I don't know any other reason.
Yeah, they do, but it's only if you hate anybody. You can't. Jews and Christians don't count.
Jews and Christians, is that a new rule?
Yeah, that's the underlying theme. We're not too far from the UK these days.
Well, I mean, what Linda's referring to is in the UK, I mean, they have hate speech laws. By the way, how does Piers Morgan survive that?
They pretty much could have just done a consult over the phone, though, and done this. I think it was ridiculous.
He's right in the middle a little bit lately. I don't know if you're seeing.
I did get you your ranch, and I got a little bit of capicola.
Poor Piers, I'm going to have to straighten him out. I always like Piers. He's a fun guy to hang out with. However, I mean, if you ever watch his podcasts, and some of them are entertaining, I'll give him a lot of credit, but I mean, he wants a food fight in every single podcast. He wants people at each other's throat in every single podcast. It's funny. And he just loves to stir the pot. Now, I want to update people on the issue of Maine because Graham Plattner can only be replaced on the general election ballot after the primary took place June 9th. He won the nomination. I think he got 73% of the vote. And after he wins, he would have to voluntarily withdraw his name on the second Monday in July preceding the general election. Isn't that Monday?
I spent more time filling out the reimbursement paper than I did in the appointment.
Next Monday. Do I have my dates right there? I think so.
You do?
Here's what's interesting to me. In spite of all the new revelations regarding him, what's fascinating, I don't think Democrats are even pushing him in the slightest to get out of that race. I don't think they care if he gets out of that race. I don't think they care about the Nazi tattoo. Now, for 11 years, and Donald Trump referenced this, for 11 years, they have been calling Donald Trump a Nazi fascist, lately Gestapo. That was their closing argument in 2024. Now they got a guy with a Nazi tattoo. Then they got a guy that calls people in his home state that he wants these people to vote for racist and stupid. The only thing stupid it would be if you voted for somebody that is telling you you're racist and stupid. This is a guy we just learned this week that there was a young girl on Reddit on one of the forums that was talking about or contemplating suicide. Yeah. And
that's what I told her. She said, I'm sorry you had to come all the way out here. I said, well, they're going to pay me to drive up here. I said, plus, I get to go to Zingerman's. She goes, oh, that's always good.
This is a guy that, makes excuses for everything. And I'm just going to have a hard time believing that the people of Maine are going to elect somebody that unhandled. I guess it's possible, but, we'll see what happens. Put aside the sexually explicit text messages, all these, for example, this is what he said about sexual assault victims. He said, quote, take some responsibility, avoid getting effed up on alcohol, and act like an adult. And then he downplayed military sexual assault reporting challenges. He commonly refers to himself as a communist. He's made many shots at police officers, starting with all cops are bastards, homophobic slurs, other crude references. Again, his excuse on the Nazi tattoo is not one that I buy or believe in. And yeah, he's faced some calls to drop out, but the vast majority of Democrats that were telling us that Donald Trump's a Nazi and a fascist and Gestapo, they are unwilling to take him on. they don't want to challenge this guy. And that speaks on. That's why I keep saying, and I'm going to focus on this. That's what makes this the most unpredictable midterm ever. I mean, we're forging a new path here. There's never been a major party that has been this radicalized. These are uncharted waters.
Oh,
And,
the other one get chewed up.
Polls that are probably complete BS. I don't think any of it matters right now. And add to that the Supreme Court decision on racial gerrymandering and Abigail Spanberger's court decision in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and all of their power grab attempts are going to fail miserably and have failed miserably. So there's going to be a net gain. I think all bets are off. I think a lot of this is going to deal with, okay, how does Iran ultimately play out? One, number two,
Figures.
do gas prices recover?
Did he eat it all?
Price of barrel
Or did he just destroy it?
reading 72 bucks a barrel. At its high, it was $126 a barrel. That means very quickly, in very short order, you're going to be down to $3.50, $3.25 a gallon of gasoline. That's great for the American people. The president's standing by that. He doesn't have to worry about Iran in terms of time because, there's no way they're building a nuclear weapon in the next 5 or 10 years. So he's going to focus on a lot of other issues in the interim and let this process play out, which I don't think is a bad strategy, especially if you care at all about the 94 million Iranian people.
At least it's
if their
soft.
economy gets wiped out, we'll be wiped out with them. But anyway, we'll get to all that. We'll get to your calls.
Hello.
Just a quick question for you.
What's up?
I got Carissa here. She brought the laptop from housing that Mike Dorsey was using for the housing director over there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure to what length he used it or how much he used it, but she's gonna start using it now. So I didn't know if there's anything we needed to do.
I don't think so. I don't think it's. I mean, it's got the I think just the tech email downloaded onto it or the housing email, but I mean,
Right.
she could put her own.
And the same like pins.
The pin. I mean, she could just change it. It's whatever the zip code is there. So
yeah.
I think it was the same as the Maple Heights one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, sometimes you do housing zip code.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
So it's either 137 or 118. Okay, so
Yep.
she can just log in there and then
maybe
just delete the history and just log him out of everything and then just relog in and she should be fine.
Should be.
Okay, got it. And then another quick question while I got you on the phone, because I messaged Lipa about the iPads at the new houses.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for her to send me like the QR codes specific to each location, but she asked me what EIN it should be under. Was it supposed to be like the same one as housing?
EIN.
Yeah. Like the tax ID?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I don't do payroll, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair. I told her whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Christine would know that. Yeah, Christine would know that. She's the one who does payroll. So.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right, that's all. Thank you so much, Zach.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too.
Catherine Limbaugh will join us today. Russia's widow is going to be with us. Looking forward to having her on the program today. Mike Lee will join us. Tommy Tuberville will join us. 800-941-SEAN. If you're into health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, longevity, okay, that's great. How many times somebody tells you, if you eat this food, you're going to feel better. If you try this supplement, you're going to feel better. These vitamins are the best vitamins. Nobody ever takes the worst vitamins. And a lot of us really, if we get down deep in the weeds, we're kind of guessing on some of this stuff. That's where the science of Viome comes in. Now, You have your own unique fingerprint throughout your entire life that never changes. The same with your DNA. But your RNA is science that actually tells you what's happening inside of your body at any given moment. And Bio, it is a simple at-home gut health test. They use advanced RNA technology to analyze your gut microbiome so you can understand how your body is really functioning in real time. And from there, they'll use that science and create a personalized food and supplement plan designed specifically for your body. So in other words, no more guessing. You're making decisions based on science and data. And when people follow their plan, they report better digestion, more energy. And in Linda's case, eating more red meat puts her in a better mood. Go to viome.com/Hannity, viome.com/Hannity. Use the promo code Hannity50. You get $50 off today.
You know, now that the adults are back in office, maybe we can get some work done around here. Are you ready? Welcome back, President Trump. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules.
Oh, you know which one I got. Got that Ruben.
Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial
I almost got the one with liver, chopped liver on it too. But I decided to go with the old, good old standard.
BRCC has proudly celebrated America, her military, her values, and the people who defend this country since the very beginning. That's what makes Black Rifle different. Every can, every bag, every box purchase gives back to the communities that make America better every day. This summer, soccer
tofu bun.
Drink cold brew coffee cans in just black and vanilla. Smooth, cold, and built for hot days, road trips, late weekends, mornings that start early. And when you need something with even more kick, Tiger Strike delivers bomb pop inspired flavor with 0 sugar and 200 milligrams of caffeine. Built for long summer days that don't slow down. No fake patriotism, no gimmicks. Find Black Rifle Cold Brew and Tiger Strike now at Walmart or your local grocery store. Black Rifle Coffee Shop. Online at blackriflecoffee.com. Veteran founded, American roasted. This is America's coffee.
You've worked hard for your money. Now let it work hard for you. RJM Group and Company has been helping families grow their wealth for over 30 years, right here in South Florida. Imagine an investment as steady as a CD account, but earning returns from 7% to 20%, guaranteed, every month or every year. With contracts from 1 to 5 years, RJM puts you in control. No gambling, no guessing. Just smart, secure growth backed by real estate expertise you can trust.
Almost got some, just some regular for crackers.
877-53002. That's 1-888-775-3002. That's 1-888-775-3002. RJM Group. Trusted, proven, built for your future.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Imagine a health plan you'll actually want to renew, not just have to. We're claim down. By providing transparency, fighting for fair payments, and saving employers up to 33% compared to traditional health plans, we enable companies to take more control of their health plan costs. If advocating for our members makes us health plan rebels, so be it. Get your health plan costs under control at claimdoc.com.
Oh, no, I just almost got some of the just chopped liver for crackers.
made it possible to get your business approved and funded as fast as today. Since 2004, Cardiff has funded over $12 billion for American small businesses, helping owners grow.
He's doing his volunteering today. He doesn't get off till 4, so
less than 5 minutes with absolutely
probably won't be joining us.
personal credit. If you've been in business for at least a year and are doing $20,000 in monthly revenue, you could qualify for up to $500,000 in same-day funding. Don't let the big banks slow you down. Go to cardiff.co/SXL. That's cardiff.co/SXL. Real growth, fast funding. Cardiff. Tomorrow better. For golf course operators, peak season is about executing under pressure. Long days, full tee sheets, tech patios, targets to hit, golfers to serve. When the stakes are high, your software can't come up short. That's why many of the world's top facilities trust Lightspeed. Tee sheet, POS, payments, reporting, automation, and more. Lightspeed helps teams save time, drive revenue, and deliver amazing service. Because when pressure peaks, performance is everything. Lightspeed, built for pressure. Visit lightspeedhq.com/golf to learn more. Channel 125 and on the SiriusXM app.
Oh, Lyndon, look what I just found, a nice nugget. So Dan Goldman, congressman, Jewish member of Congress, was told at a coffee shop in New York City that he wasn't welcome and he had to stay away, that his money was no good there, and smeared the guy. And Dan Goldman, look, he's a Democrat, he's a nice guy. And it turns out, according to the Washington Free Beacon, guess who the coffee shop owner that did this is supporting? Take a guess, quick.
Chevalier.
Graham Plattner.
Oh, God.
Got a backyard project or laundry table?
You know, it's funny you say that. Guess what they were giving away at the hospital there? It's weird. Gun locks. You could probably use that. Dang it. Or we could just use zip ties too or something too, but yeah. You know me, I'll take something. Yeah. Suicide Prevention Week. I guess if you have to think about it, you won't use it that fast. Oh, okay. Yeah. I got them in my truck still. But, yeah.
All across North America. Visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Celebrity Greens.
At Swish Funding, we fund small businesses like yours from $25,000 up to $2 million with cash in your account in less than 24 hours. If you've been in business for at least 1 year with monthly revenue of $50,000, you can unlock financing with rates as low as 8% and flexible payment terms tailored to your business needs. Apply today at swishfunding.com. That's SWISH funding.com.
Attention! My Patriot Supply is offering a huge discount on their best-selling emergency food supply, but only for a limited time. Millions of Americans trust My Patriot Supply because they're the original preparedness company for real American patriots. Right now, you can get their best-selling 3-month emergency food supply for $100 off the regular price. My Patriot Supply almost never offers a deal like this. To get your emergency food supply with a huge $100 discount, go to mypatriotsupply.com. That's mypatriotsupply.com.
Hi, I'm Brad Wall, founder of Bison Wealth, one of the fastest growing wealth firms in the country. Did you know Bison can manage your existing 401k, which could increase returns by 3% or more per year? That could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars to you. See what your 401k has been missing at powermy401k.com or call
Power My 401k today. Bison Wealth is an SEC registered investment advisor. 3% average based on Aon Hewitt study. See PowerMy401k.com for more information. Results may vary and are not guaranteed. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Tax and data rates may apply. Are you worried about how much you drink? Is alcohol affecting your health, your work, your relationships? You don't have to go to extremes to get help. Choose Your Horizon is a discreet, doctor-backed online program developed by a Mayo Clinic trained psychiatrist and designed to help reduce your drinking or stop completely. At Choose Your Horizon, our programs have helped over 20,000 people across the U.S. We deliver FDA-approved medication right to your door. It's easy to take any time of day. And if you're just looking to cut back, many people still choose to drink while on our programs. Let us help you get to the root causes of your drinking. No rehab, no judgment. Most patients see meaningful improvement in just weeks. Same-day consultations, at-home liver testing available, and medication delivered discreetly in a couple of days. For your free same-day doctor consultation, text us today. Text FRESH to 54504. Again, text FRESH to 54504. Text FRESH to 54504.
Isn't life just better with a dog? They're our companions, our comfort, our family. They sense when we're sad and stay close. They greet us like we've been gone for years, even though it's only been 20 minutes. Service dogs change lives.
Welcome
Care
back.
dogs, they feel hurt.
Someone.
Every dog makes our world brighter every day. Dogs give us everything they have. Don't you think they deserve the same? And you can't give your dog their best life while feeding them food that's stripped out of all the life nutrition. That's why Rough Greens puts it all back. You simply sprinkle it on their food. It's packed with probiotics, enzymes, omega oils, and over 20 live vitamins and minerals. All natural, made in the USA, and hundreds of thousands of dogs now have more energy, better mobility, healthier from the inside out, and your dog can be one of them. Get a free Jumper trial bag for your dog today. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com and use discount code BLUE. That's RUFGreens.com, discount code BLUE. Rough Greens. Good, your dog will ask for it by name.
Exposing the Pelosi party's chaos and corruption all day, every day. This is the Sean Hannity Show.
9:25 now, the top of the hour, 800-941-SEAN, if you want to be a part of the program. You know, this great country, we don't stand for 250 years as a beacon of hope without the brave men and women that put their lives on the line to defend it for us, sacrifice everything. Now, to honor these patriots, our friends at Pure Talk, my cell phone provider, a veteran-owned company, and all of you, their customers, we have a goal to raise $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. This foundation is essential. They stand on the front lines of preventing veteran suicide. They do it by covering the basics, housing, access to VA benefits, transportation, counseling. Many of the things that we promise our vets that we don't often follow through on. And this is giving vets a hand up, benefits they were promised. And here's how you can help. When you make the switch to Pure Talk, remember you get the same exact cell towers, the same 5G network. You get the exact same coverage, and the average family saves over $1,000 a year. That's real money. So if you've not made the switch, you're going to save money for the exact same service, and Pure Talk will give you an opportunity to round up support for America's Warriors Partnership, and then they will match that donation until they hit $250,000. Now, you can get unlimited talk, text, unlimited high-speed data, just $34.99 a month, a fraction of what big carriers charge you. The switch is simple, it's fast, it's easy, and you're going to help vets. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, pound 250, keyword save now, and start saving today. Linda, you're going to be very impressed. So I did a little deeper dive into this coffee shop owner that accused Congressman Dan Goldman. Now, Dan Goldman is a Democrat. I've talked to him. He's actually a nice guy, but he's part of the Democratic radical left, but that's okay. So he goes to a coffee shop, and he wants to buy a cup of coffee. And he brought his young daughter to the store with him. I've got more details. And he's told by the owner to stay away because of the group APAC, and that his money is no good there. And they smeared this guy as a fascist who sips, quote, genocide juice. Now, when you look at the story, and it just gets worse and worse as time goes on. Now, excuse me, but we do have laws against discrimination in this country. Anyway, I want to see what happens here. Now, Goldman apparently did an interview, said the ordeal was very sad, a reflection of a sad state of the world right now. And he went on to say that the coffee shop's decision to publicly do this to him on their Instagram account, which included a sneak picture of Graham after he spent $9.82 at the business, is bizarre, to say the least. And he probably is I know he has different politics than I do. It's not about that. You know, when do you get to discriminate against anybody going into a store based on race, religion, creed, color? When did that become acceptable? I guess in today's, radicalized Democratic Party, I guess they're perfectly fine with that. There was a poll out today. By the way, it is primary day in New York City. We'll get to that in a second. And I mean, if you want to see a bunch of absolute radical, crazy people, just look at New York City. Half the Democratic voters that are polled in New York City in the 5-borough barometer survey conducted by what's called the Honan Strategy Group, they are all signaling that electing a new generation of younger, more progressive members who will challenge the party establishment is their top priority in this year's closely watched congressional primaries. Now, the big part of me is happy about this, because if they're going to now go all the way in and they're going to get radicalized and they're going for El Sayed and Graham Plattner and cisgender and God is non-binary and men and women's sports and now hating Israel and institutionalizing discrimination, like in the case of Dan Goldman, I think I'm okay with that, because that makes this the most unpredictable midterm election cycle I've ever seen in my lifetime. That's why I keep saying these are uncharted waters. Only 63%, according to this poll, of Democratic voters now hold a favorable view of their own party. 35%, more than 1 in 3, have an unfavorable
I'd be
view.
glad to, but I'm driving right now.
The highest level of discontent is the Democratic Socialists of America, that's the Mamdani group, literally, and their left-wing allies, an opportunity to knock off more incumbents than we've ever seen before. It's going to be interesting, the results that come in tonight, because Mamdani is going against sitting congressmen and women, and he is endorsing the most radical candidates he can find. There was a really interesting piece called Democrats Party like in 1911, and in a way I see the analogy here, and I honestly don't see how they get out of the mess that the hole that they're digging for themselves. I mean, what Democrat is going to say to be able to reason with the new Democratic Party? I mean, how do you convince El Sayed in Michigan not to be out campaigning with Hassan Piker, who blamed America for 9/11? How do you convince Democrats that it was a dumb idea to nominate Graham Plattner? How do you rationalize in Texas some cisgender Tellerico and God is non-binary? So all of this now is they have now brought themselves to this radical edge where there's only one Democrat willing to call him out, and that's John Fetterman. But if you look at these voter poll results, I got to tell you something, it's not pretty, because Democratic leaders have presented themselves as the voice of working men and women. But if this, poll of New York City Democrats is any indication, Apparently, many rank and file voters are no longer buying what their own party is selling. A striking new survey from that I just mentioned to you is many expressing frustration with the old school Democrats, their direction, and their ability to advocate effectively for ordinary Americans. What this means is the whole and complete transformation of the Democratic Party is now on its way. And I don't know how you stop it. Who's going to stand up to AOC? Who's going to stand up to Mamdani? You know, what Democrats, but for John Fetterman, will take on Graham Plattner or El Sayed or Tallarico? It's almost like the Democrats, if they want any bit of power, they're going to just, suck it up and agree with them, because I don't think any of them dare speak out, knowing that they will be challenged and probably defeated themselves. Now, Mamdani is saying that Congress, his perfect candidate, also said, "I hate this effing country," and accused U.S. veterans of committing war crimes. As Mamdani now, on this primary day, continued to push for many may guess. I'm guessing he wins this. I don't think he's going to beat Goldman, though. I think Goldman will probably win his race.
One bad cat.
But he's now decided, Mamdani.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! Oh,
and to go against established incumbents and
wow.
put in more radical candidates in his image and likeness. So Mamdani's now putting political clout on the line as these states hold their primary. That's why tonight, when the results will start coming in during my show, and I think it's going to get pretty interesting, which way this whole thing unfolds. I think it's going to get very interesting. And what are they offering but, womb to the tomb, cradle to grave, new Green Deal, radicalism. There is a virulent strain of anti-Semitism among many of these groups, a total disdain of all things Donald Trump and order, a pure embrace of the weaponization of justice. This is going to get very, very interesting very, very fast. Now, there's some more details to it.
It seems like, as far as these immigrant fraudsters and scammers are concerned, the American dream is coming to America and stealing from Americans. The American dream, it's so, because for immigrants like 100 years ago coming to America, the American dream, it meant work hard, thrive in the free market, sink or swim. You try to swim, you try to make it to the top. That was the American dream. Work hard, bust your ass, and build a life for yourself. Now it's like, come to the U.S., illegally invade the U.S., and then enroll on every single taxpayer-funded benefit you can and steal from American taxpayers. That's the modern American dream. As far as the modern wave of immigrants are concerned, it's just sick. Thomas Cowlack says, every day you start out by saying this has the Democrats losing their minds and actually melting down. That's why I would never miss a show. It's all about the angles. And you know what? Every day they are. Every day they are. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe I shouldn't admit to this. One of my motivating factors for waking up with what I do every single day. Talk to my wife. I'm here working for 14 hours a day in the office, editing videos, writing scripts, doing the research. 14 hours a day, much to my wife's dismay. 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. What compels me to do that? What gets me in the mood to do that? I shouldn't say this. I really hate it. In part, not entirely, in part, I'm fueled by hatred for the Democrats and the progressives, and I really don't like it. It's like yin yang. The good half of me, what motivates me? Love of country. The other half, hatred of progressivism. That's it. It's the magic.
Don't worry about it.
Time to get to work.
It was working.
Thank you, Fred. I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way. I'm not a fan of it. Thank you very much. Lori Pipkin says,
Now to the fraud of the White House and the Senate. Well, all the government. Shut all of it down. Thank you very much, Mrs. Pipkin. Thank you very much. Gwendolyn Katz. That's a great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Beautiful last name, Gwendolyn. In fact, beautiful first name also. Thank you, Gwendolyn. I appreciate that. That's a $50 super chat. Thank you very much. Massive. It almost sounds a little bit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Massive. I appreciate that. Kim Trump says, curious, what books are you reading to the right of you? Right now, I'm on the cusp of ramping up. You want it? Nobody's ever asked me this. Maybe I have ADHD. I kind of skip around from book. Generally, I'm like reading 3 or 4 books at the same time. I read a lot. And every day, if I'm in the mood for this one, I read that one. If I'm in the mood for that one, so I'm kind of juggling books. Right now, this is a book written by a guy named Alex Bruserowitz. He's a social media manager for the Trump administration. Winning the Social Media War. Actually, look at that. The foreword was written by Charlie Kirk. There's one book I read. I'm almost done. This is, I don't think anybody cares about this. This is a book about Aristeas of Reconnaissance. He's an ancient
Blaine.
Who wrote a poem called the Harem.
Blaine for what?
We hop around. This is Plutarch's Essays. And this one here. Xenophon's Anabasis. You can tell I'm a big Grecophile. I'm always reading something Greek, always. Anyway, put that there. Nobody's ever asked. Thank you. Now we skip around. Maybe I'm a little bit ADHD. Thank you very much. This is Mr. Knight. He says, disbarred from the legal field, find jailed rogue judges true, if possible true. Thank you very much. Kristen Payne, he chimes in. He says, I'm a Jersey Mike's fan too. I like their Chipotle cheesesteak with jalapenos added. I'm a spicy guy, not trying to be freaky. Sir, you're a little bit too freaky here, sir. He says, please recommend anything spicy from any restaurant in the comments. If anybody has anything spicy in the comments here, you got to pass it along to Tristan Painovich. You know what I like? I'm a big fan of kimchi. You ever have Korean kimchi? It's the fermented with some spice, the cabbage, and Korean kimchi. I'm a big fan. Thank you very much. Try it out. It's probably healthy for you too. Bonnie, and by the way, thank you, Tristan. Bonnie Jessio says, I thought the Supreme Court voted months ago that the lower court judges can't make blanket orders. They can only make orders for specific cases. And there's a lot of nuance, and they're operating on the line. There's a lot of nuance. It's different type of nuance. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's all, a lot of it's kind of case by case. These judges, these lower court activist judges, they're pushing the envelope as much as they possibly can within the confines of that former Supreme Court order, getting away with as much as they possibly can. It really is. It's just simple. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. You know, all this judicial stuff is very complex. You almost have to go to law school. Maybe there's a reason why these people go to school for 10 years. Thank you very much. Norris Force 1 says, I wish the Supreme Court would finish all these immigration cases. There are huge 2A cases sitting in the court, and they are not taking them. You know, I'm going to piss off some of the gun guys. Listen, I'm a big 2A guy. My biggest issue is immigration. If I had to be a one-issue guy, I'm an immigration guy. I'm going to say something controversial. Permission, don't get too mad at me. Unless we can solve our immigration crisis that we have in this country, literally nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. First Amendment doesn't matter. Second Amendment doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Whatever your thoughts are on tax rates or abortion access, literally nothing matters in this country unless we can solve our immigration crisis. Everything is downstream from the immigration crisis. As they say, demographics are destiny. What do I mean by this? Let me explain myself. Imagine if our country had 100 million Somalian immigrants in it right now that came over tomorrow. Imagine. Guess what? We wouldn't have a republic. We wouldn't have free and fair elections. The entire country would be cooked. Whatever your thoughts, your deeply held beliefs about the Second Amendment, your deeply held beliefs about marginal tax rates, your deeply held beliefs about abortion, it's good, it's evil, it's bad, whatever. Nothing matters. All of our conservative values doesn't matter if we've got 100, 200, 300 million immigrants from the third world. The country would be cooked. We would get outvoted. We would be overwhelmed. Okay? They'd be wiping their back end with the Constitution matter. So solve the immigration, and then everything is downstream from that. And that's why I'm so hard on immigration. I don't know. Let me ask you a question. Do you guys know any other political commentator, right wing, left wing, whatever, that is talking about immigration more than we do here on this show? I don't think so. Maybe I get a bit boring. I get redundant. Maybe I'm looping a little bit sometimes. Every day I get up here, we talk about immigration, demographics, immigration. And the reason why is because, as far as I'm concerned, it is the single most important issue of our time. The fate of the republic rests on solving our immigration dynamic. We have to. Because everything follows after that. Nothing more. That's my opinion. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Morse Force. I want to do a reload here. Make sure I haven't missed any of these super chats. Lord forbid I missed a super chat. Let's take a look. Oh, we've got a couple of these. And Style JP says, Matt, are you going to see the Young George Washington movie on July 3rd when it comes out? Okay, thank you for saying that. I thought it came out already. I missed it. When I was talking to my wife last night about that movie, I said, well, I guess we got to wait to watch it on Netflix or whatever. But it hasn't come out yet. Okay. And that's a movie that I want to go see in theaters, the Young Washington movie. I also, we were just talking about how I'm a Greco freak. I really also want to go see the Odyssey movie that comes out in theaters, but I think it's probably going to suck. I think it's going to be terrible. But I am. That's another one. I'm going to go see that one in theaters whenever it comes out. We'll get a babysitter for the night or something. We'll take the wife out to the movie. But that one's going to suck. I think the Washington movie, though, is going to be awesome. And thank you for reminding me. I thought I missed it in the theaters already because I've been so out of the loop. Thank you very much. So, yes. So the answer is yes. Got to go see it. Mans, he says, Morse Force all the way from Europe. We got a European super chatter. Morse Force, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Big Jukes, $10 super chat. He says, that black eye story is the same one Elon told after Lutnick popped him one. Matt, who hurt you? It was my son. I'm being abused by my 2.5-year-old son. No, I thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't know anything about the Elon thing. I don't know. Wait, no. I heard it wasn't Lutnick. I heard it was Scott Besson. That's what I feel like. I remember that if anything, and I don't even know if this is true, that if anybody punched Elon, that it was Scott Besson, not Lutnick. But that's also probably a fake story. I don't know. Thank you. We have another one here from Kurt Easton. He says, I was a big fan of Greek mythology as a kid in the 80s. Speaking of which, you ever play Battle of Olympus for the original Nintendo? No, I didn't. Awesome old school Greek mythology platforming. I'll look it up. There's not a whole lot of Greek video games. Have you noticed that? Really, the only one in like recent history, it's the Assassin's Creed Odyssey game. And I played that for a couple hours. It was okay, but I don't have a whole lot of time to play games these days. I thought that was cool. But seems like nobody really cares about the Greeks. Have you noticed that? Nobody. I don't know. I'm kind of alone. If you think the Greeks are cool, nobody's really there with you. Everybody cares about the Romans. Thank you, Mr. Easton. I appreciate that. Lori Pipkin says kimchi one comes in capsule from the Breitbart. I know they've got these kimchi extracts. They put them in a pill. I'll tell you, I just love eating it. Like, I think it tastes good. I'd rather eat it, but I guess they take a pill. It's better than nothing. Right? I think it tastes really good. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that, Mrs. Pipkin. I need to make sure that I don't miss anything. I got to do a reload here. One more.
I went pretty good.
Super chat of the day here, and it is from Blank
Side drops
from
Burning Eyes.
You have to try bulgogi, egg, and cheese at Rodriguez LFC in Korea. Kimchi is okay, but I want some KSP bulgogi. You know, I'll tell you, I have been to South Korea. I've been to Seoul, and I've been to Busan on the south. I've actually been to South Korea twice. Long time ago.
Oh,
shit. When I was in South Korea, I had a lot of bulgogi. Bulgogi's good. Bulgogi beef. That's where I fell in love with kimchi. Kimchi's good. It's good.
It's like
South Korea's got pretty good food. You have South Korean barbecue. Pretty good. In North Korea, they're probably not barbecuing a whole lot, but in South Korea,
back up here.
Thank you. Good recommendation, though. You're right about that for anybody else. Thank you. Folks, I think that is going to be a wrap for today's show. This is one hell of a show. I want to say thank you all very much for being here. I probably need to wrap it up. We've got to run some errands today in real life, so I got to get out of here. I will have 3 individual videos for you folks. That being said, 3 individual videos on YouTube and Rumble later on this evening, this afternoon, so make sure to keep an eye out for those. MorrisReport.com. 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 Go check it out. There's the merch. There's the newsletter. Go check it out. A lot of care and love.
Look at Northbound. Holy crap.
Made in America. MorrisReport.com. Thank you. But on that, thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you folks tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much.
Let's finish this show. Wow, look at this. Well, it's been happening for a few months before even the pollen became an issue. Maybe a contributing factor, but
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter who it is. Diversify your portfolio before it's too late. That's why we're offering an emergency gold and silver protection kit valued at $49, absolutely free for anyone who calls today at 800-900-8000. This kit includes critical information for investors with a retirement account seeking to own physical gold and silver, but want to do it tax and penalty free. Advantage Gold has helped investors protect and secure their wealth with physical gold and silver since 2014. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000 and we'll rush your emergency gold and silver kit plus a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. See how gold and silver can help you protect and secure your wealth with the help of Advantage Gold. Results vary. Consult your tax advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
President Trump, Mayor Mamdani, and AI all asserting what you could call their...
Let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting right here. Victory on expedited deportations. We've got Brett Shumate, who is over with the DOJ, saying, victory at last. The D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals has upheld Homeland Security's expansion of expedited removal. Trump came in, reversed a bunch of policies, used the maximum extent of the law to create a faster deportation schedule and to use the discretion that the law affords him to do that. And it was all blocked for months because the lower level courts were too concerned about due process of the deportables, the people who are in the country without lawful status. They needed to go, but a lower level judge wanted to shackle the administration from enabling.
I have it on the wrong. I'm locals. I want to go over to Rumble and watch it.
And we've got hundreds of thousands of criminal illegal aliens, not to mention the non-criminal illegal aliens who are really kind of criminal for breaking into the country. But the scope and the scale of this problem is so massive that this is really going to be effective in helping them do their jobs. Here was Tom Homan speaking on this very issue.
Are at a record high. Since the beginning of the administration, a new number is now 9 100,000 legal aliens deported. Now, with the replenished resources at the DHS, how do you expect the numbers to trend for the rest of this year?
With 10,000 agents on, but you need to understand, we got almost 700,000 illegal aliens with criminal records walking the streets of this country. Crazy. Mainly because the sanctuary cities released. But we got a lot of work to do. So with additional resources, additional money from Big Beautiful Bill and the reconciliation package, you're going to see a lot more arrest activity go out there.
And just to be clear, 700,000 illegal aliens with criminal records walking the streets in this country, mainly because the sanctuary cities release them because they have extra due process premium in America. If you get arrested and you can't post bond, you have to face the consequences of your criminal charges. But in places like New York or LA, Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA, will literally give you a lighter sentence, a lighter set of charges. Even
he's kind of going off the rails lately.
Your continual incarceration and prevent
Jew hating and everything too,
and actually deporting you. So the decision dropped, and
it calls him Catarlson.
The people who sued were an organization out of New York called Make the Road New York. It's a 60-pager, a lot of technical stuff, but we'll fast forward through that. And they sued Mark Wayne Mullen, and this is because the DOJ, Homeland Security, and others, as soon as Trump came in, they started to actually enforce the law. Shocking, I know. And so they sued. Now, here is what the actual decision says as we get down into it. And it is a split decision. It's 2-1.
I was going to get around them, but
3-judge panel.
No room up there. So.
Wilkins, Rao, and Walker who decided this. And then we've got kind of a split dissent by Wilkins. But here's the majority holding. From Circuit Judge Walker, he says, all right, listen. 30 years ago, Congress is not Trump usurping the presidency, violating American law, acting as a fascist. No, Congress created a new process for deporting illegal aliens. It's called expedited removal. Beautiful sound. Unlike other statutorily required procedures that can take years to actually effectuate, expedited removal often just takes a few days. Now, at issue here is the provision allowing the Secretary of Homeland Security, in this case now Mullen, the authority to designate certain aliens already in the country for expedited removal, to tag people to say, all right, you're in the bucket now, time to go. Congress excluded many people from that provision. Any aliens admitted or paroled are excluded, even if they're here illegally, because our laws are stupid. So too is anyone who can prove that he has lived here illegally or illegally for at least 2 straight years. So exceptions codified into the law to prevent them from being removed, even if they are here illegally. That's how stupid it is, even though this is a win. Now, as for whether to designate other aliens for expedited removal, so there's a broad power, there are limitations to that broad power, and now we ask about the remainder. What can we do? Well, Congress said the executive branch can decide. And for many years, while some were designated, others were not. But that all changed in January 2025, the glorious month and year of President Trump's return, when the executive, Trump, expanded expedited removal to the maximum extent allowed by Congress.
Nope, not tonight.
Now, the lower level judge stayed that expansion because of due process, holding that it violated due process. But the court now says, because it does not, we vacate the stay, and the expedited removals can pick back up. So they walk us through some background, and then there's going to be a lot of threshold issues about standing and timing and the power of the lower level court to even issue a stay. We'll fast forward through those and get back into the meat and potatoes. But here's how they start. As the name suggests, expedited removal authorizes rapid removal of certain aliens, subject to various limitations. That generally includes 2 groups. First, those arriving in the United States, and second, those already in the United States who are not officially admitted or paroled and who cannot show continual presence for at least the 2 years. So that's a ton of people, by the way.
To grab the fucking plate.
Many people, Joe Biden, let's say he brought them in year 1 and year 2, or year 3 even of his presidency. As long as they've been here for 2 years, and they can say, yeah, no, I live in California, in LA. I have free healthcare, free housing, free SNAP benefits, free everything, and I might even be voting in LA elections soon. They're good. They're not even covered by this. But the expedited removal process begins with an inspection by an immigration officer. If the officer finds the alien inadmissible and no exception applies, then the officer must order their removal without a hearing, before an immigration judge, and without ordinary administrative review. It's like, you just got here, you just came in, and so we can just turn you right around. We don't have to go through all of this procedure and give you all of this due process since you invaded the country illegally or migrated, whatever your justification was. You came in without lawful status. Now, before issuing a removal order, the officer must advise the alien of the charges. They can issue a response. Interpretive assistance also must be provided because they can't speak English. The removal order and related documents must then be reviewed and approved by a supervisor before becoming final. Lots of due process there. Then a person may claim that expedited removal does not apply. For example, he may say, well, I'm an actual U.S. citizen, so you can't remove me. Okay, that's an argument. If you are a citizen, we won't remove you. You can also say they've got lawful permanent resident status. I'm a refugee.
$54 for 2 sandwiches.
A refugee or an asylee. Or I've already been admitted, or I actually have been here for a long time illegally. The longer you're here illegally, the more privileges you get. So the regulations allow the person to present evidence in support of the claims. Now, the parties here agree that at least when the executive has not exercised his discretion in a way that categorically bars asylum, the statute provides the following terms. If an alien expresses fear of persecution or torture, like in wife-beating Kilmar Abrego Garcia's case, they just turn around and say, oh, a gang is attacking my mom's pupusa. Then that's a claim of persecution. Or if they have an intent to apply for asylum, the alien is then referred to a non-adversarial.
We've explained it before that the good sandwiches.
Members who are attacking mommy's pupusa. And then an asylum officer can decide whether there's actual legitimate.
Got us some Reubens.
Whether they can establish eligibility.
She got her fake meat Reuben, and I got a real Reuben.
If the asylum officer finds no credible fear, your pupusa business is fine down there. Then a supervisor reviews that decision. If the supervisor agrees, the alien may request review by an immigration judge. The judge reviews the issue de novo, looks at it fresh. If the judge then finds no credible fear, the expedited removal order becomes final and you're gone. And just look at all of this process. Oh my gosh. Multiplied times 20 million, or if you believe Greg Bovino, 100 million. How are you going to do that for 100 million people who didn't give us as America and Americans any due process at all when they just waltzed on in here? If credible fear is found at any stage and they just make it up like Kilmar did, in my opinion, the alien must be detained for further consideration of the asylum application. Now, citizenship and immigration services under the law has complete discretion over how to proceed from there. In the law, it may place the alien into regular non-expedited removal proceedings before a judge.
No, it's a deli.
Jurisdiction over asylum. If they do retain jurisdiction, they have to follow other procedures to assess their eligibility and validate.
They make
their
great
claims.
sandwiches.
Relief are available
$50
as well.
sandwiches.
Now,
for $50 for 2 sandwiches.
Expedited removal orders. If they do say, nope, you're gone.
I thought I had you give up once before.
All of these protections you fail, can a judge look at it? They say that is extremely narrow. Through habeas corpus, which is what Kilmar did, a court may consider only whether the petition is an alien, whether he's an alien or not, whether an expedited removal order was issued, and whether they've got lawful permanent status or refugee or asylee status. Courts, though, may not review the other factors, whether they actually are having credible fear. Those determinations are left over to the other
it's the first time I've ever seen them actually picking up.
Now, Congress has also written into the law limited judicial review of the expedited removal system itself. Challenges to the lawfulness of this statute or certain policies, you have to sue in D.C. and you have to sue within certain time limits. And detention during these expedited removal proceedings is also generally mandatory. You've got to be detained. The process operates on such a short timeline that removals often occur within days, sometimes even sooner. And this has been around for a while. Quick recap on the history. Since the creation of expedited removal, it's been implemented under various conditions. In 1997, that was applied to ports of entry and those interdicted at sea. Then in 2002, they expanded expedited removal to certain aliens who came by sea and could not show 2 years of continuous presence. Then in 2004, they expanded it again.
We don't
to
use
within
that one
100
anymore.
miles of the border.
Don't
Then
like
in
the new ownership
2017,
there.
they extended it again to Cuban nationals who had already previously been exempt. Then Trump came in. July 2019, Homeland issued a new designation. It said, no, we're not just doing the 100 miles crap anymore. If we encounter an alien anywhere in the United States who doesn't meet these other exceptions, you're gone. The 2019 designation was
for two of them, it's 50 bucks.
2 months after it was issued. So some back then lower level judge
Sandwiches and a pickle.
and said, no, you can't do that. But this court again reversed that one because you do have the power. Then in March 2022, Joe Biden comes in, steals the election, and they rescind the 2019 designation, open the floodgates to change the demographics and the entire constituency of America, and allow the invasion to occur unfettered for 4 years. All of the other prior expedited removal designations were in effect because Biden came in March 22 and eliminated it. Then Trump returns. Dun, 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 dun. On January 21st, the first day, Acting Secretary of Homeland Security called Benjamin Huffman issued a new notice saying we are using expedited removal nationwide for certain aliens who cannot demonstrate continuous presence for at least 2 years. And it's like, you've got a strong interest in getting here quickly under Joe so you can establish those 2 years. The longer you're here, the longer you're in violation of the law, the more protections you have. What a system. Under the 2025 designation, Homeland may place in expedited removal, with limited exceptions, aliens who are inadmissible because they lack valid documentation or entered via fraud, or they willfully misrepresented themselves, like I'm under attack, have not, or like, like the gay hairdresser from Guatemala or something. They just make it up. I'm gay. I'm a trans. Okay. So can you go be gay down there? Can you go be a transgender hairstylist down in El Salvador or wherever? I don't think they want them in El Salvador either, but somewhere else. Have not been admitted or paroled to the satisfaction of an immigration officer that they haven't been here for 2 years. Now, in practical terms, when Trump came back, this is what it meant. The designation extended expedited removal to all aliens eligible for expedited removal under the law who were not already covered by prior designations. So it's like a Venn diagram. Some people are included, some people are not included, as broad as we can go to the maximum extent allowed by the law. Now, the notice stated the designation would, quote, enhance national security and public safety while reducing government costs by facilitating the prompt removal of these people. It also stated that the expanded use of expedited removal would allow Homeland to address more effectively the large volume of aliens who are present in the United States illegally and ensure their prompt removal. On January 23rd, 2 days later, Acting Secretary Huffman issued an internal memo providing guidance. It's called the Huffman Memo, and it directs all immigration officers to take all steps necessary to review a case of an alien and to evaluate whether the alien should be placed in expedited removal. So look at this option first. Can we get them out quickly? You have to do that analysis, according to Homeland. It instructs officers to consider applying expedited removal to any alien who is amenable to that process. If they're like, sure, then they got to go. If they agree to it, use it. In addition, it also addresses how officers should exercise their discretion in this authority, encouraging them to consider a range of factors, like is the individual eligible for expedited removal? Did they fail to apply for asylum within the statutory deadline? Because that's what happens is as soon as they get caught, they say, oh, asylum. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm going to get tortured down there. Oh, yeah, mom's pupusa business is under attack. I forgot. The memorandum thus functions as an operational directive. Now, it does not itself expand the scope of expedited removal. It just guides them on how to do it. So what happened here after the law came in, Make the Road New York. Some group filed this action challenging the designation from Trump and the memo. The complaint said that there are statutory and constitutional violations and that we have standing and that some of our members of this group were also subject to expedited removal. So in June, they then moved to postpone the effective date of these memos. Okay, so Trump comes in January. By June, They're already blocking it. The lower level court granted the stay in August. And so to be clear, not in effect from August up until now. It's now June 2026. So we're going to be going into August very soon, and we've almost lost a full year of expedited removals because some lower judge issued a stay. Now, applying the framework of another case, the lower court concluded that Make the Road was going to win. Why? Because aliens have a due process claim, and they have this wild, a significant liberty interest in remaining in the United States. And if we deport them, we might deprive them erroneously of their liberty interest in the United States. Even though there's all the other checks and balances, they can make a claim. I'm a citizen. I'm a lawful permanent resident. I actually have a valid asylum case. They're validating all of that. But now you can't do expedited removal, even going through that process, because of their significant liberty interest in remaining in the United States. What about our significant liberty interest in having our country not filled and who are here illegally in violation of our laws?
All right, I'm gonna
So the lower level
raid
court
him.
identified three principal areas of risk. They said, wow, I have doubts about your procedures for referring individuals who fear removal for credible fear interviews, that they are not being able to say, I'm scared enough to go back home. The credible fear interviews themselves are not being conducted appropriately, and the procedures for determining whether an alien has been continuously present here, I can't validate whether or not you're actually checking their lease agreements or whatever. The court concluded that the government's interest in swift removals did not outweigh the value of additional procedural safeguards.
I might do some more door dashing later. We'll see.
That I just read here at the start of this exception, this check. They go to an immigration judge, de novo review. They go up to the Board of Immigration Appeals, a new review, on and on and on.
Let them know I sent
They
you.
need more procedural safeguards because they have due process premium ultra. It also determined that equitable factors favored relief. So the judge postponed and stayed without qualification the entire thing. And as usual, the stay applied on a nationwide basis. So no expedited removals anywhere from August up to now. Of last year to now, months and months of prohibiting us from actually enforcing the law. We elected the president to do it. They're following the laws, but a lower judge said, no, it's not following enough. It was not limited.